Perfect. So I hope till yesterday we were speaking about few of the commands in Cypress, and everyone are clear with the commands. If anybody got any queries, doubts, questions, please feel free to ask your doubts. Uh, yeah, I think there were few couple of feedback with respect to I will go slow. Don't worry on that part. And at any point, guys, if you feel, let's say I'm going fast or something, please, I mean, you can stop me in between, guys. Okay. So today we will be covering one of the topic which is coming under Cypress assertions. Okay, so we will talk about assertion in detail. Okay, what are the different assertions and how we usually perform the assertions. Okay, so at high level, we will go slowly. What are the different assertion and how we will kind of perform the assertions on the actual framework as well. Okay, so now let me create one folder, guys. I'm creating one more folder under E2E which is, let's say, Cypress.
Because so sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So classes like kind of methods to creation in right in VS. So will you show later on or like
Which one? The class and all things?
yeah no or classes and methods
Okay.
right so right so if you compare with Selenium page object model, right? So we are creating the separate each class each page we are creating a separate class, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in a framework level. So uh, will you for the classes will you teach how to create a framework and all like that?
Yeah, so over here coming to your question, see, basically with respect to how to create method, how to create class, how to use those class in obviously other package, other subclasses, right? Those all topics we will cover once we are done with all the basic concepts of Cypress. Okay, after that we will create complete end-to-end page object model as well, wherein how
Okay.
we create class in JS, how we can use methods in JS, because I have kept this folder empty because I need to cover around 6 to 7 tests. Basically, not cy.js, only .js, wherein those will cover the basic concept, how to use iterative loops, conditional statement, how to create variable, what is the scope of variable. So all those topics I have left right now. Once I complete with the basics of Cypress command, I'll go back to this particular folder. And after that, I'll talk about whatever you're saying, classes, how to use classes in page object, how we use them into our actual test case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Here, the topic which I'm right now explaining, right? All these are independent topic. Independent as in there is no linking of with any class or something. You can directly navigate to any of the URL and try to perform this activity. So around there are around 7 to 8 major topics that I will cover. After that, we'll jump to that part. Okay. So in Cypress, guys, we have basically two types of assertions. Okay, we call it as implicit assertion and explicit assertion. Okay, so when it comes to basic assertions, guys, in Cypress, we usually use. I told you last time in our last session that we are using should. Okay, so should is actually coming under a category of implicit assertion. Okay, so let me go to our note section, guys. So this notes will be kind of like once we are starting, guys. After that, it will be attached as the README file. Okay, don't worry on that part. So implicit and explicit assertion. So in implicit assertion and explicit assertion, you will see that most of the time we are using for implicit as should keyword. Okay. So guys, there is only one keyword called as should. Okay. So we will use only should keyword for having the implicit assertion. Okay. Now, when it comes to explicit assertion, In explicit assertion, we have few things, few commands basically. Okay, once you, let's say, navigate to any of the URL and try to enter some values and everything, right? So over there we have one keyword called as expect, okay, which is basically a BDD style of writing the assertion. Okay, BDD styles of writing the assertion. And the second one is you can consider assert, guys. Okay, how we have assert in our test ng framework of same is there with Cypress as well. Assert. Okay, assert dot equal, assert dot not dot equal, all those statement. Okay, so if I go to the official website, guys, now let me show the official website as well. Okay, Cypress assertion. So this is their official website, guys, which is updated. And here you will see the assertions which right now it is showing up, basically belonging to a GitHub repo of Chai, guys. That's what I told, right? It is belonging to Chai library. And we have one more which is called as Chai jQuery, and there is one more called as Simon Chai. Okay, Sinon Chai. So these are the basics assertions which we are having, or you can see the commands also, guys, over here, how to use those command. Okay, so for each and every this thing, guys, they have given the example for that particular assertion, how to use that assertion, guys. Okay, and on the left hand side we are having this, if you want to use the assertions on some of the property, visibility, text contain, values, class, right? So all this is provided over here. If you want to work on negative assertion, then you need to use not keyword. Okay, if you want to use multiple assertion, please provide the should keyword along with and. Okay, you can use multiple and, guys. Okay, so these are the notes which are already provided, guys. Okay, now as I mentioned, right, for assertion, what we will do, we will use should keyword, expect keyword, and assert. Correct. Now, let us create two test cases under describe block. Okay, so describe TC01 assertion. So guys, I'll go slow. Please feel free to interrupt me in between if I'm going fast, or let's say you have not understood any of the concept. Okay, TC01 implicit assertion. Guys, over here, I repeat, you can write function word also. You can write function word also. It's not like you need to use only this callback function. Okay, you can write function word also. So over here, we will visit to, let's say, any of the URL, any URL, let's say open source, or there is one more application. Let me see if it is working fine. This is the one. Okay. So for this, yeah, we have the logo and everything. Perfect. So copy this cy.visit. Perfect. I have visited this URL. Now, as we discussed yesterday, right? cy.url.should. Okay. What we need to write? EQ, you can write include, guys. What is include? Include means it will text, or it will check only some partial text which is present in the URL. So whether demo is present or not, if it is present, and then it will work. After that, what you need to do, you need to use and command. After that, again, if you have second assertion, please write that assertion dot eq and then copy the URL. Okay, after that dot and. So I hope everyone are getting how I'm using and, guys. Okay, now let's say contain, right? Over here, what it is containing, guys? If it is containing some value, please provide that value, demo3, let's say. Okay, after that, again dot and. Okay, and over here you need to provide not dot. This is negative assertion, not dot contain, and please write orange. Is it not containing orange? The answer is yes, it is not containing. So all these assertions we have written in a single statement, guys. Okay, and all these assertions are basically for what? These are basically for the title,
And
right?
so what is difference between including and contain?
Include and contain, as per our logic, it is same, guys. Include means
Okay.
it will obviously check the text, the URL, whether it is containing, correct? Even in contain, we are doing the same thing. We have multiple ways to do the same thing, guys.
Okay. So EQ means why we written EQ instead of EQ can be written as a something else.
You can only write EQ stands for equal. Okay. So
Okay.
either you can write EQL or either you can write EQUAL, complete thing. These
Okay.
are the keyword which Cypress is supporting. So whenever we are not sure about keyword, just write like this. You will see the keyword, guys.
Okay.
Right? So these are multiple assertion on single step at the same time. Now over here, let's say I want to validate the icons which are coming at the bottom. Okay, so let me open Cypress first. So basically I want to validate whether Facebook icon, Instagram icon, or let's say YouTube icon, which is coming at the bottom, those are showing up, correct? Okay, let me go to that folder, guys.
विजय पायलट क्या पता था इसमें?
Sometime what happens, guys, if you open this and suddenly you try to click on that, it may not work. You may not be able to click on this. Okay, please remember, please wait for this particular page to get loaded successfully. So right now you can see that it was happening. We are not able to click it. Okay, so it is reloading this Cypress runner, and after that, once it is loaded, after that I'll perform this activity. What happened? Okay, so now it is loaded successfully, TC01. Okay, so guys, we have added at the same time around 3 assertions or 4 assertions. So if all the assertions got passed, then only your test case will get executed, as in like it will be marked as passed. Okay, so you can see that all the four this thing guys are getting passed, guys. Perfect. Okay, next. Now over here on the page, you can see that we are having some icons or something. Let's say hyperlink is there, right? There is one open cart icon. You can do the assertion on login button, all this as well. Okay. Now the only thing is because see over here, if you try to do this, because as I mentioned, you have multiple ways to do the same thing, guys, right? So we got the locator. Now what you need to do, control V dot should, and here I can write b dot visible. Okay, we have one assertion saying that b dot visible, right? So b dot visible means it is visible or not, correct? After that, and you can have exist. Now the question is, what is the difference between both? The answer is same. You have multiple ways to do the same thing. You are doing two assertions, right? But the purpose of both the assertion is same, guys. Exist also will do the same thing, and visible also, whether it is visible or not, that will do, right? So that's how we usually use the should keywords, should method. Okay. Now coming to second assertion, guys. Second this thing, that is explicit assertion. Okay. So TC02, or I'll just write explicit assertion.
Actually, I have one question. Yuri.
What?
cy.img. So how to get img? Where? How to get img ID?
No, this is ID only.
So how to get where is?
Yeah, so if you want to get via your this thing, right? You need to inspect it. Okay. Hover your mouse on icon. So you can see IMG, correct?
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that's how it took the locator. That becomes the CSS selector. Why? Because the complete page has only one IMG, that's the reason. If you have multiple IMG, then it is a different story.
Okay. So this is not ID, no? This is only IMG means
This is a tag name.
tag name.
Yes. So tag name, it has identified, this becomes a CSS selector. Only tag name is also one CSS selector. HTML body, this is also one, this thing, guys. Okay. If I write body, that is also valid CSS selector. Okay. If I, let's say you are thinking that, hey, why I am not using this value, then you can use that also. If you want, you can copy this title, right? And square bracket, control V, square bracket close. This is also valid CSS selector. You have multiple ways to find the element over a page.
Okay. So there is only one IMG, so I select IMG.
Yes, there is only one, that's the reason. Okay, if it is obviously multiple, then Cypress would have supported us IMG greater than something something. Remember yesterday we were getting greater than sign. That is like when we were locating, right? We were getting a greater than sign. So over here, let me try to check whether we are getting. So here you can see form. After form, we are having greater than sign, because for form, how many values are there? We have two child. One is username, second one is password, right? So you see that over here, you may get form password, right? If there are multiple, then obviously it will not work. But if it is single tag name, you can use directly with that,
Okay.
right? Okay.
Yes. And
Yeah.
second thing,
Go ahead, please. Yeah.
can you please scroll up?
Yes.
Actually, you mentioned many assertion, but
Mhm.
I did not get any reflect on backend side when I run this code. So
You
it's a
got
little bit confused how to let it continue. Okay.
can see this assertion.
This is assertion. Okay.
This is the assertion due to those four statements. This is first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth. Okay, this is the fifth assertion and this is the sixth assertion. Total, how many assertion we have written? 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These two are on the IMG and these 4 are on the URL. So these 4 are on the URL. Understood?
Yes, but what is the mean demo 3 orange? So
Yes,
I
yes.
don't understand what you mean.
Okay, okay. So see, basically what exactly you need to understand, in should there are two parameters. One is include and second one is actual value. So what we are saying to this Cypress, we are saying Cypress, hey, if your cy.url, is it containing demo? It is containing, right? Demo, correct? If it is containing, means this assertion will pass. Understood? If it is
Means
containing demo,
demo is mentioned in URL. So
yes,
this is the
demo
name.
is mentioned in URL, right? If I change any value over here, okay, then my assertion will not pass. Okay. So if it is demo, then only it will pass. Okay. I'm not saying demo, guys. It can be anything. So the whole URL, if it is containing any of the value which I'm mentioning over here, if it is containing, then this assertion will pass. Okay. Even if I write over here admin, then also it will pass, guys. Because my URL is containing what? Admin also. Understood?
Yes.
Second, equal means exact match. What is a URL? If that URL is matching, if it is matched, then only second assertion will pass. Third, contain. Contain means again same as include only. So is it containing demo 3 in my this URL? The answer is yes, it is containing. So that's the reason third assertion also got passed. Fourth, not dot contain. Not dot contain means it should not contain orange word in the URL. If it is not containing means the fourth assertion also got pass. Okay. And it's not like we can pass only 4 assertion, guys. It's again your choice. If you have, let's say, 6 assertion, 7 assertion, depending upon your test case, you can keep on adding that assertion, guys. There is no such hard and fast rule. Perfect.
So why we use assertion? Because CY.visit and enter URL. So page redirect to appropriate site.
So thing is,
So
assertion
why?
is basically a checkpoint. Okay. As a QA, what happens is we need to validate whether the steps which we are performing, those are correct or not. Okay. Sometime what happens, you have written cy.visit, but if it is, I hope everyone understand what is 302. 302 is permanently moved, right? It's a status code, guys, permanently moved. So basically what happens, the URL get changed, guys. When you visit to a URL, and if it is navigating to some other URL, then this test case is not a valid test case, guys. This will fail, guys, basically. Okay. So sometime in your application, when you are navigating to /admin, it is navigating to, let's say, /login. Correct. So over here, I'll give you one example. Here, if I navigate to .com, what it is doing, it is navigating to .com, right? This website. But if you navigating to /admin, what happens? It is navigating to this page, right? If you navigate to, let's say, /login, right? It is not a valid, this thing, right? So it may happen, there is a redirection of a URL, which may happen in your application as well. So at that time, these assertions are very, very helpful. You navigated to something and it has redirected to some other URL. That also happens actually in your real applications. That's the reason.
Okay. So is it for only URL or any content or text?
Anything, right?
Assertion.
So yes, yesterday I talked about title also, right? You can do the assertion on title also. You need to validate the title of a web page, right? So we can do the assertion on title. We can do the assertion on text, right? That's what I'm trying to. In second, this thing, I'll show you how you can do the assertion on text, right?
Can you just explain once more again, describe why we use describe? Yeah, here, this one.
So describe at a higher level, guys. It is considered as a test scenario. Okay. So wherein all the test cases which are belonging to my, see, basically what happens, in your real applications, you segregate your test case, right? So this is your applications, let's say, and you want to work on let's say desktop menu, correct? In desktop menu, you have the test case belonging to PC, you have the test case belonging to Mac, correct? So what you will do, you will describe one block wherein you will say that the test case which are belonging to, let's say, desktop menu, correct? Inside that, you will write the test case for the phone, sorry, for the Mac, and you will write the test case for the PC, correct? So this describe whenever who is reading, right? Because as you run your code, guys, when you run your code, you see that at the top, you can see TC01 Cypress. This is the test case name, okay? And here you can see that TC01 assertion. This is something which we have written inside our describe block, and this TC01 implicit assertion, this we have written inside what? It block. So this is at the description level, and this is at the individual test case level. So by looking at the description, whoever is executing your test case, they will have the enough idea like which all test case you have executed. Okay, so describe is similar to what we have test scenario, and it is similar to like how much test case you have. You can have 10 test cases, 15 test cases. So you can describe this it block how many times, guys? 15 times. Okay, one after other. So this it is getting ended over where? This it is getting ended over here. After that, I am creating one more it. Okay, so in this I'm writing the test case, which is obviously for explicit assertion, and here your describe block is getting ended. So once it is ended, your test scenario has been ended. So you are done with all the test case which is belonging to that particular test scenario. Clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So now there is an explicit assertion, guys. In explicit assertion, I'll be talking about one of the assertion wherein you try to log in into application. Let us try to perform login. Okay. So now I want you guys to tell me how to do. I will navigate to this URL, right? So I can write cy.visit. .visit, and please navigate to this URL. Okay. After that, you need to enter the credential, right? So cy.get, you remember, right? How to get the value? Either you can get using ID. So there is ID, guys, over here. So Control C, just put hash before it, Control V, dot type, just enter admin. Sorry, my bad. It is demo. Okay. Please check if it is in capital or small. It is small only. Demo is username. Then try to inspect the password. Password has the value ID as input password. cy.get hash Control V dot type. Password is also same, guys. Demo. Okay. So we have entered the demo. After that, you need to click on login button. So for login button, check the locator again, guys. Okay, so you can see for login button, we have type is equal to submit. So Control C, cy.get dot click.
Can you please use the class as a CSS selector for this submit button?
Class,
Yes,
this one,
yes.
perfect. Let us use that. Control V, but I told you, right? What are the conditions? And you are using,
Removing the space by dot.
yes, you need to put dot at the start and dot here. Okay. So we have written the steps for logging into the application. So once user is logged in, after that, you need to check whether you have navigated correctly or not. Or let's say you need to validate whether demo is logged in or not. So I'm saving this. I'll go to runner. Let us trigger our test case. Okay. So it was very quick, guys. All 4 steps got executed. Okay. So this is also working fine. And now we are inside this thing. Okay. Now, once we are inside it, I need to validate something. So let's say demo. I am inside the login this thing, and everyone can see that I have something called as demo user at the top. Okay. So it is demo user, guys. So let us try to understand. I think I changed the resolution or something, not sure. Let me check. Did we updated our Cypress dot? Okay. I can remove this, guys. Or let's say I need to reverse this actually. This should be 1000. This should be 800. Okay, those who were, let's say, during our Cypress config class. Yeah. Now over here, what we will do, we will try to understand that this is demo user. So now what exactly we need to do, try to understand over here. Okay. In Cypress, we are having support for few data types. Okay. So let us inspect this. Okay, everyone can see we are having this value drop down toggle name. Okay, so this is actually a CSS selector which we are getting. Okay, perfect. Now copy this, copy this, and let us go to our test scenario. Over here, we will say that cy.get. Okay, cy.get. Now it will move to which this thing, guys? It will move to this locator. Okay. Now you must be wondering, like, I need to validate it is demo user or not, right? So what we will do in Cypress, there is a concept of handling the promises. Okay. So what are promises basically? Once you navigate to this locator, After that, what exactly you need to do? Okay, so this dot click, dot type, all these are method. But if you want to perform some other actions over this particular web element, then you need to handle using the promises. Okay, so in handling promises, we have a then command. Okay, in Cypress, we are having a then command. And in then command, you need to create a variable, guys. Okay, so this is just a variable. So let's say I need the username. So I'm just creating one variable called as username. Okay, so how we create a variable int x, similar to that in Cypress, for creating a variable, you just need to write that variable. And after that, you need to have a callback function. Okay, after that, you need to have a callback function. Okay, now what is username, guys? Username is handling all the property of that particular web element which we have written over here. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to create a variable in Cypress. So for creating a variable in Cypress, guys, you can use either let, there are three keywords, let, where, and const. These are the three keywords which Cypress is supporting because of JavaScript. So what we can do, let expected value or exp value is equal to, you can just write username dot text. Okay. Now text method is a method of JavaScript, guys. It is not a method of Cypress. So text, with the help of text, what you are doing, you are retrieving the text which is present on this particular web element. You are retrieving a text which is present on this particular web element. Okay. After that, you just need to validate whether the values, that is expected values and actual values, are correct or not. So over here, what you can do, you can create one more variable, that is actual value. Okay, I did a mistake, guys. It should be actual value over here. Okay, and this should be exp value. So what is exp value, guys? In single quote, demo slash, sorry, space user. Okay, demo, let me check, guys. Demo space user, U capital. Okay, everyone are clear? Now we need to check how to write the assertions, right? We need to validate whether the values are correct or not. So the syntax is simple, expect. Okay, again, can you see, guys? It is coming under chai. Okay, expect is coming under chai. So what you need to do, you need to say actual value dot to dot eq, or you can write equal also. And here you need to write exp value. Yeah. Yeah, Sujina.
Can you please explain line 26 one more time?
Yes, sure. First of all, with the help of cy.get, we are moving to a particular web element over a web page. So with this cy.get, we are moving our locator, or we moving our control, this particular web element over a web page. After that, with this web element, you can perform lot of activities. So when I say, guys, lot of activity, if you want to capture some of the HTML attribute, if you want to understand what are the different attributes. So in Cypress, we handle the promises, guys. Okay. So for handling the promises, we use the then keyword. Okay. And as soon as we write then, after that, we create a variable. Okay, so for creating a variable, you don't need to do any, let's say, data type or something. You just need to write that variable inside the round bracket. So that becomes a parameter. And now that parameter will have complete control of the complete attribute of this particular CSS selector. So what I want for this right now, I just want to perform, or let's say I just want to get the text which is present for this particular locator. So for that reason, we have used username.text. Now username.text here, guys, please understand this text is a method which is part of your JS. Please remember, it is a part of your JS. So with the help of this, we are actually retrieving the actual value. Okay. Now actual value will hold what? It will hold the text which is present on this element. Okay. So actual value has got life. I mean, now it is active because as soon as you create a variable, it should have some value, guys. Over here, expected value is also having some value. So now with this statement, we are comparing both the values. Okay. What is the expected? What is the actual? Okay. So this is the assertions which we are doing, guys. Now we are done with this. Now let us run this test case. Okay. Now here you can see that we are getting one issue. Anybody can tell me what is the issue, guys? What do you suggest? There is issue only one thing. If you notice carefully, demo user which we are getting, right, it is having some space, guys. Okay. If you notice carefully, demo user and PPS. I hope everyone remember this is a literals which is being used whenever there is an extra space. So here, if you try to provide, let's say, a method, because in string, guys, we are having various methods to remove what? To remove empty spaces, right? Can anybody tell me what is a method to remove empty spaces?
Trim,
Sorry?
trim, trim.
Trim method, correct? So over here, you can just write trim method also. Okay. What this trim will do, guys? Trim will remove the empty spaces which are coming over here. Okay. So now let me execute one more time. So now you can see this assertion is getting passed. Is it clear, everyone? Why we have used trim? To remove the empty white spaces. Okay. So this is the actual value which we are getting. So guys,
How,
please remember
how we are getting the actual value here from?
using text method. This is what, guys? Username is what? Username is nothing but a parameter which is pointing to this web element. Correct? And on that, what we have written? Dot text. So whatever text is present over here, right? What is that? Demo user and one space. That is kind of getting in our actual value. After that, what we have used? Dot trim. It will remove the leading and trailing white spaces.
Okay.
Understood?
So text and trim is from Cypress or from JavaScript?
From JS.
From JS, okay.
Yes. Even text is from JS. Even trim is a method which is belonging to string class in Cypress. Sorry, in JS. We are having a lot of methods in string, guys. Okay, just to, I mean, just at high level. Here, if you notice concat, index of, right? All these are what, guys? All these are nothing but the string related methods. It depends on whether our test case need this or not, right? Based on that, we will use it.
Very similar to Selenium.
Yes, yeah, Selenium. Because in Selenium, string is a class, right? And what we have index of, all those things, concat, all this is possible with JS as well. Now, obviously, as in like we go right here, if we need to, let's say, get the paginations. In pagination, you will see some extra character. If you need to remove those extra character, right? You need to do obviously this activity with the help of the methods which are present in string only. Correct? So all those we will be going to see. So everyone are clear with expect. Similar to this expect, we have assert command also. Okay. So assert dot equal. Okay, assert dot equal. And in this, you need to pass two values. One is expected and second is actual. Simple. Okay. So over here, you can pass the actual value, comma, expected value. Simple. So this is the second assertion, guys. Okay. So you can have two assertion. That's not a problem. Okay. So both assertions should pass, guys. But the below one is using assert keyword and the above one is obviously through the expect keyword. Both are coming under child library, guys. Okay, and over here, guys, assert dot not equal, all those methods are available, guys. Okay, so I mean, don't get confused, because obviously in the coming session, we will see a lot of other assertions as well. But right now, this is coming under which category, guys? Explicit assertions of Cypress. We are using this whenever it is required, but here, obviously right now, if you want to compare two values, you can use directly with the expect keyword, or let's say assert keyword. Okay, that's what we usually do. Guys, remember semicolon is optional, right? I already mentioned that semicolon is optional. If it is like, it is not required actually. Okay. Now let me go a little bit about in detail about let, where, and const keyword, because since it is important. So in Cypress, guys, we don't have any data types such as int, float, string, character, this type of data type. Okay, we have only three data type, that is let, where, and const. Okay, so with the latest JS update with ES6 engine, guys, that is previously it was ES5 JavaScript. Now the JavaScript language has been updated to ES6. Okay, now with this approach, what happened is like we had only three data type. Now in this three data type, we have let, where, and const. So over here, if I put semicolon or single quotes, right, that will be kind of considered as a string value. Okay. So if you don't put, it will be considered as, let's say, numbered value, or let's say integer value. Okay. So there is no such rule that you need to use let, you need to use where or something. Okay. But only thing is, whenever you use const keyword, guys, you will not be able to update that value. Okay. You will not be able to update that value. Also, whenever you declare any values, guys, okay, so over here I have declared what? Actual value. Now the life of this actual value is within this block, guys. Please understand this. If you think that I will be able to use this actual value outside this, the answer is no. Okay, please remember this. That's what we have with, I hope you guys have heard about global variable, class variable, instance variable, right? Same thing with Cypress. If there is a variable declaration within the block, then the life of that particular variable will be within that block. Okay. So let means within the block, it is blocked scope. Okay. Where is basically responsible for function block. So when we will talk about function, over there we can use where keyword as well. But the logic is it will be within the function, guys. Okay. If you try to use outside the function, we will not be able to have it. Now the next is const keyword. Const keyword, very simple. It is having the concept of block scope only. But the thing is, once you declare anything as constant, you will not be able to update that value. If you declare, let's say, const area is equal to 24. Okay, if I have declared this value, right? Const area is equal to 24, right? And over here, I write, let's say area is equal to 28 or 39, correct? So as soon as I trigger this test, guys, okay, here I might get a error saying that, how can you update this, right? So assignment to constant variable is not allowed, guys. Okay, so you are not allowed to update the value which is declared as const. Okay, so please remember this. These are the only three data type which we have. Okay, and with the help of this three data type only, you will keep on doing the assertions, assigning the values, getting the values for that particular locator, uh, storing it in some variable. Let's say here you can store this in this value what we are using, right? Here you can create one variable, let URL is equal to. Okay, so this complete thing can go under which variable, guys? URL. Okay, so use a single quote so that it is considered as string. And over here, what you can do, you can just type what? URL. Correct? So now this URL, this we have written inside describe, right? So this, all the test case will have the you can say accessibility for this particular URL keyword. Okay, what we have declared. Is it clear, everyone? Anybody has any queries for let, where and const keyword.
Actually, I have a query regarding username. So, why define username after? Yeah, then.
Username, if I have declared this as username, you can have any name for this variable.
Okay.
It's not like you need to say user only, but whatever you are using, right? Please use it over here also. Same variable. Okay. Prior to this Cypress version 10, guys, we used to suffix with dollar actually. Okay. So basically dollar is something, even people right now also, they are using dollar to represent that this is a parameter basically. Okay. And this parameter, we are using it in the subsequent, you can say. And guys, one more thing, you will have the life of this use only within this block, guys. If you think that I will be able to use over here also this thing, no, the answer is no. Okay, as soon as you move outside this particular then, guys, okay, because I hope you remember that this is a opening of then and this is a closing of then. So you will do all the activity with respect to this only within this block. You are not allowed to move outside. Okay. So I hope everyone are clear with this. Let us
So
move
with
to
Cypress, we don't need to declare or define the variable like directly. We can use, like you say, that use name.
no. That is something when while handling the promises only at
Yeah.
this point of time. And if you are doing assertion or those type of, see over here, I have declared the value, right? And after that I have used it. Correct. So that is available with Cypress. Here the only thing is you can use any of the keyword let, where, and const. The only thing is make sure you are not updating the const values. That's it. Other than that, everything is same. Perfect. Correct. So let us move to little bit on the one more test case. And I think today we will be able.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
So if I want to use this variable value outside of the it block, so is it possible or not?
Right now I'm using outside it only. Okay, you are saying outside it. Over here, like once the it block is completed,
Yes.
after that you are saying. But whatever you write is outside it, right? Basically, let me show you what happens. Okay. So let's say cy.log URL. Correct. I have written in statement. Correct. Now what happens, Cypress itself is that whatever you write outside it will be not part of your test case. Please understand. Cypress is saying that you need all the statement with respect to test case inside the it block only. You are allowed to have the variable, that's not a problem, but you are trying to execute the statement which is using that variable, that statement will not get executed. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay. Here you need to have those statement inside respective it blocks. That is possible. Yeah, Ankit.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, one more question.
I have one or two queries regarding drop down, CY.get drop down. So we only mouse over this drop down list or click this
No, we didn't do
drop down.
anything. We didn't do any activity over here. We neither perform a click, neither perform double click. We have just moved to that element and got the attribute which is text value for that. We are not performing any. So if you remember, right, in Selenium we have a method called as .getText. Correct. What is that .getText is doing? It is just retrieving the value which is present on that particular locator. It is not performing click, neither we are typing or something. Correct. So that's how it is kind of retrieving the text which is present on that particular locator. Am I clear? If
Okay.
you want to do hover, all those things, right? Mouse related actions, we are going to discuss those as well. Okay. But right now, we are not doing my mouse over as well, guys. Please remember this.
Okay. Dot then or arrow sign. Oh, arrow sign. How to is work means what is the meaning is there
Yeah. So
arrow
basically,
sign.
arrow sign is basically whenever in JS, right? We need to create method, right? You need to use this syntax. Okay. Over here, you might have seen, right? Whenever I am creating any method, right? At that time also, I'm creating this arrow symbol. This is basically a symbol for function. So describe is nothing but a block, basically nothing but function. It is nothing but a function. This it is nothing but a function. So all these are function. Only if you do any change over here, you will get a syntax error, because that is a JS defined syntax for writing the function. Okay, even if you put double arrow, you will get error. Your test case will be shown highlighted in red color, because you are not following the syntax which is provided by JS. So either you can use the function keyword over here, okay, or you can write that logic what I showed you, this one, either of this.
Means we can mention a function name or
No, you need to write function
only
only. Function name,
only
only function.
function.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. And
Mhm.
dot then meaning not I did not get understood.
Yeah. So dot then is something what exactly you want to do with this, right? So whatever action you want to do with this, right? That you need to handle with the help of dot then. So basically then is responsible for handling the promises in Cypress. So let me show their official page. So here guys, I have showed you only one scenario, guys. Obviously, in the coming session, we will talk about a lot of scenarios, right? So here, what exactly we are doing, then here you can see button. This is nothing but a parameter which we have created. And then for that button, if you want to get the attribute, right? What is a class attribute, guys? Here you are getting the value of that attribute. So we are kind of storing it in the CLS variable, and then we are capturing whether that value is, what is that value basically, whether it is clickable or not. So here you can see dot then dollar button, and then again we are retrieving the value, and after that we are kind of doing the assertion whether it is having spin as a class or not. Okay, so that then please remember it is nothing but you can consider a parameter value on which you are performing some of the assertion which is required by your test case. Whatever we write inside them, it is considered as what? Parameter or value, or you can say variable which has been defined, and on this variable you are performing some assertions, right? So in Cypress we handle promises using what? Using then keyword. Okay, now what is promise basically? In Cypress, basically there are few steps, or not in Cypress actually, it's a part of JavaScript. Okay, we have promise resolved, promise rejected, and even like promise delayed. These are the you can say different status of promises, guys. Okay, so when I'll talk about JS in detail, that time I'll talk about what is promises, how we handle those promises. But right now, please remember, with the help of then, you are kind of creating a variable, and with that variable, you are trying to perform some of the action on that attribute, on that element. Okay. So because see, Cypress is coming under, guys, async language. That's the reason. Okay. So asynchronous language needs to be handled with the help of promises. So basically promises can be in the pending state, fulfilled state, or the rejected state actually. Okay. So with the help of this, you are kind of then keywords, you are handling those status of the promises. Okay.
So in Cypress, we don't have a wait issue.
Cypress, we do have wait.
Because I don't see we are using it. So
Now we are not using, but when it comes to real application, at that time we might use. The command for having wait is very simple. cy.wait, simple. And you just need to provide the time in millisecond. Okay, so over here right now, whatever test case we have executed right till now, you saw that the steps were very fast, correct? Because the page got loaded and everything. But in some of the cases, you see that the page is taking like bit of time. Over there, we might provide some explicit wait. So the command is simple, cy.wait. And there
Is there any default wait?
default wait we have already defined by your Cypress config.js. Okay, when I say default wait, basically the default wait is actually provided as 4 seconds, guys. So there are few timeout which I need to show you. Let me show that as well. So everyone can see this: page load timeout, response timeout, request timeout, execution timeout, task timeout. All this has some default value already defined, guys. Okay, so those, I think I showed you one page, guys. Let me show you again. Configuration, right? Configuration Cypress. So it will navigate you to configuration this thing. And over here, you will see something called as timeout. Everyone can see this timeout section, guys, correct? So everyone can see this default command timeout is 4 seconds, guys. 4000 millisecond, correct? So page load timeout is 60 seconds, guys. Okay, so these are all already defined in cypress.config.js. If you want to override this value, then you can define this value into this cypress.config.js. Otherwise, you can keep as it is. Okay, so we have cy.wait, and I just want to introduce one more command called as cy.pause. Okay, so what is this basically? Now I'll explain you a little bit. Basically, these two things are basically useful for debugging purpose, guys. Whenever we, let's say, stuck in any of the code, right? At that time, you provide cy.pause so that it will pause your execution for some duration. Now, whatever you want to do over here, you can do unless and until you resume your test case. So what pause is doing? Basically, it is stopping your execution. So over here, you will see one resume button. After once you resume, it will perform the subsequent step. Okay, so wait is basically, you might have seen wait now. 1 second it waited, guys. Okay, and after that, we are using pause command also to halt your execution for some duration so that you can try to debug what all things you want to debug. And after that, you resume your execution. So that is purely for debugging purpose. It will not be actually used into your real framework, guys. Okay, whenever you are creating complex test cases at that time. Okay, so I think we are good, guys. I hope everyone are clear with the assertion topic. Okay, so if anybody got any doubts, queries, questions, please feel free to kind of ask your doubts. Okay, and I'll stop the recording